Okay, good morning. So we discussed about backpropagation briefly in the convolution neural networks in the last class. So we are continuing the discussion now. So we have seen that in the forward pass, whenever we perform convolution operation can be with a single map to multiple maps or multiple maps to multiple maps. Okay, and convolution operation can be represented like this or like this, where there is a summation of each map with respect to the convolution kernel, and then such kernels equal to the number of maps gets added to create a single map in the convolution output. Okay, like that, if you want to have a multiple maps, we will have actually k ranging from like multiple convolutions takes place. Okay, so and we also have seen either downsampling operation for the subsampling block or the pooling operation. Okay, so we will see now step by step the backpropagation. So let me start writing the backpropagation equations. So while before we write that, let us try to understand some of the aspects. So let us figure out which are the operations where we are not clear to write the backpropagation. Okay, and let us also see the operations where we are very clear to write the backpropagation. Based on that, let's try to understand how to write the backpropagation in the for the forward steps that we do not know. Right. Okay. Fine. So let me start with input sample and then the first convolution layer. Okay, and then the subsampling layer. Okay, and then second convolution layer. Okay, and then the fully connected layer. Oh, sorry, second subsampling layer, and then our pooling layer, and then fully connected layer. Okay, from here to here, what we have is only reshaping operation. Okay, and then from here, we have actually better, let us write these fully connected layers as rectangular blocks, so that actually we understand that they are of this nature, one dimension. Okay, and then you have actually output layer. Okay, so now let us try to, this is WFC. Okay, this is FC. Okay, and this is O. Fine. And from here, actually, we have J, which is half of norm of O minus T whole square. So, so let us start from here. So we want to write the gradients. Okay, so dou Z by dou O we want to write. What do we denote dou J by dou O with? I need some quick answers to move quickly for the backpropagation. So dou Z by dou O we denote with what? Delta O.
Delta O.
Okay, and it is equal to what?
O minus T.
It's equal to
O minus T.
O minus T. This we know. Now what we need is, see here, there is an activation function. Assume that softmax layer we have not explicitly considered here, but it may be there usually. Okay, so for time being, for simplicity, if we even skip that, okay, here we have a net value, right? So net value here is equal to, how do we get the net value? WFC into what? FC. What are the dimensions of FC? Let us start writing the dimensions. This is 28 cross 28. Okay, these how many? C1 dimensions are how much? at the first convolution layer, how many maps are there? Quick, say assuming that kernel is, okay, 5 cross 5. Okay, and we have 6 kernels of that sort. What are the dimensions of the first convolution maps? Tell little quickly.
24 cross 24.
24 cross 6. We have 6 maps. Okay, and then here only subsampling layer. Okay, and hence the dimensions are 12 cross 6. See, while writing in 2D and writing with matrix and vectors, dimensions are important. Because they will help us also guide us sometimes to write the expressions or equations properly. Fine, and then second convolution layer, we want to get actually 12 convolution maps here. So the dimension of the kernel is 5 cross, okay, 5 cross 6. Such kernels, we need 12 to get the 12 maps, right? So, and the dimensions of this will be how much? How much?
8 cross 8.
8 cross 8 cross 12. Okay, and then dimension of S2 will be, feature maps in S2 will be 4 cross 12. And the dimension of this will be 192 cross 1. Okay, and this is anyway 10 cross 1. Okay, so and hence the dimension of this is 192 cross 1. Okay, and then dimension of WFC will be how much? WFC is 10 cross 192. Okay, now what we need is, see here we need delta net. Okay, so in the forward propagation we have anyway net. Okay, here what we need is delta net. Delta net is equal to how much? Tell quickly, whichever you know, try to tell quickly. Because net is given by WFC into FC. Okay, what is delta net now? As we have seen before, when we do back propagation, what will happen here? Sorry, O we need to write, right? So in the forward propagation, O is equal to what?
F of net.
O is equal to F of net. Okay, and then net equal to this. Okay, so now what is delta net? Tell little quickly. Delta net is, say, assume that small delta net, which is dou O by dou net. Okay, this is how we denote. The small nets, small deltas, as we discussed in the last class. It's equal to what?
F dash.
What? F dash. Okay, F dash matrix. Okay, your diagonal having F dash net 1, F dash net 2, and so on up to F dash net C, right? Or net 10 now. Okay, it's a diagonal matrix. Hope you people remember. Okay, this is all a diagonal matrix. Okay, having all F dashes on the diagonal and zeros anyway here and here. Right? Okay. So now what we want is here, let's move on. Let us see up to where we can write the local derivatives. Okay, which we don't know. Then we will see where, which we don't know, we'll try to figure out. Okay, fine. So now tell me, how do I write now? Delta FC. What is delta FC? Here at this location, the variable is FC, right? So output of the or the reshaped version of the second subsampling layer, features maps at second subsampling layer, okay, is FC, right? And now delta FC I want to write. So how do you write delta FC? It's equal to what? Yeah, quick answers are welcome.
WFC transpose.
WFC transpose. Okay, so this also we write delta, small delta. So please tell me in case if there is a notation that I am not strictly following, or there is something small things that are missing, you should be able to figure out or point out as well. Okay, this is small delta net, and this small, as we have defined small delta as dou, how did we define? Dou net by, okay, dou FC. It is just the local derivative. Okay, is this fine or not? So now what we want is, this is just, now we want to write small delta S2. How do I write now? From FC. I just need only from FCs. How should I write? How should I write? So FC is equal to, in forward pass, FC is what? Is equal to reshape of S2. Okay, S2 maps, right? So now we do what? Again, see 4 cross 4 cross 12, we have converted to 192 cross 1. Now what we should do? Yeah, tell quickly wherever you are clear. Okay, so otherwise you will only lose time.
The opposite reshaping.
Yeah, opposite reshape. Okay, so reshape of FC, that's all. Right? So if you reshape 2, this is the, just to, I will write the dimensions here. 192 cross 1 is this. Okay. And then this dimension will be 4 cross 8, 12. Okay, like this we reshape. Oh, this is just the errors also reshape, that's all. Okay, so now what will happen to here? We are doing actually either S2 if I want to write, okay, in the forward propagation. Let us write with slightly different color. Okay, S2 is equal to a like downsample of C2, right? Corresponding map S2K is downsample of C2K, right? Corresponding map we just downsample, right? Or pool, max pool of C2. Or pool. I am not writing what pool, but it can be any pool. Okay, it can be max pooling or average pooling or whatever. Okay, pooling of C2 comma K. Right? So what do you think will happen in the when we write delta C2 now? Delta C2 I want to write. Okay, so assuming that there is no activation function in layer C2. Okay, there usually there will be activation function. Okay, so as we have seen in the forward pass, okay, C2 is written as, okay, how did we write C2? C2 is written as C2K map of C2 is written as how? So we are coming back because we already discussed this. S1 jth map convolved with what? Kernel, assuming it's 5 cross 5. Okay, J comma K. Right? This is small k. And this is capital K. Hope you you distinguish them. Okay. So, and this is summation over what? J equal to 1 to 6. Assume that there is no activation map here for simplicity. If there is activation map, that will also come into picture. Plus bias also will be there usually. Okay, bias is with what? Bias of kth map. Okay, so this is usually the case, right? So now assume that now here we want to write delta C2. How do I write delta C2? From a see in the backward pass, you notice that I am first writing the errors, okay, corresponding to the subsequent layer, okay, and then coming here because that's how the errors are available. Okay, we have the error or the loss at the output first, then the next layer, then the next layer. Those errors are useful for updating the gradients or for back propagation as well, right? So now how do I want to write delta C2 is equal to what? So upsample of, here if we do downsampling, here just upsampling of S2. Is this clear? Is this clear or not? What is that?
How would you upsample, sir? By
yeah, very good. Yeah. So upsampling, let us try to figure out. See, assume that I will give you a small example here. Okay, in the downsampling, this is the one, say 5, 6, 2, 3. Okay, so for simplicity, I have taken a simpler one. Okay, and then here I just applied a downsampling. See, downsampling, if I have done, what I might have done. So it's just downsampling by 2. I am using a signal processing notation. Okay, so if I perform a downsampling by 2 in the downsample layer, okay, subsampling layer, then what happens? What is the value of downsampling here? What is the value of downsampling here? 8 plus 8, okay, 16 by 4. The answer is 4. Is this correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So now we will see how to do say when we go for error, I have got now at this layer. Okay, I assume that I have got an error of 0.1. Okay, so while in this is in forward propagation, this is in back propagation now. Okay, I want to see how the back propagation should be. See, I want to write the errors at all locations. So computational graphs just to have a cross check. So we have C11, C12, C21, C22. Okay, so you have the computational graph. Okay, each are multiplied with this is yes. Okay, 1/4. This is also 1/4 anyway. 1/4. Okay, and this yes, you have actually delta S. Okay, in back propagation. If you have delta S here, so what delta C2 will be what? Delta S into the same connection. So delta S by 4 only is coming. So delta S by 4 only should come. So there is some those aspects. Let us see a little carefully. See, one more thing to notice. See, after we write, assume that we are able to write the back propagations. Assume that now I will write here delta C2. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
just a small question about the max pooling thing only.
Right.
Yeah, so you said that the weight update will be given only to the maximum weight here in case of max pooling. So that means only 1/4 of the weights are updated when you apply max pooling.
Yes. Because information we have got is only from that, right? So we have not taken information from others. So it's essentially if we go in signal flow graph, so only that weight will be 1 and remaining all will be 0, 0, 0. Is it not? So the whole back propagation error, whatever you get, will directly go there. Okay, it doesn't go anywhere else. That's all. The others are not contributing to the error that we have got here, or this error is not influenced by others, even in back propagation.
Okay.
That's true. Others are not being influenced.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Fine. So I think actually the problem in the mathematical derivation is we have to take J also into account, and this fraction of delta dou S by whatever. So we assume that in dou J by dou S, says I am just writing with very loose notation, into dou S by dou C. 1 will come, right? So we have actually so far whatever this is delta S. Okay, that gets multiplied with 1/4. Okay, so that's how the 1/4 of delta S will come. So just to give a short description in the downsampling, when downsampling happens. Okay, downsampling by 2 when we do, we have seen that the S is formed out of C11, C12, C21, C22, only considering this block. Okay, considering this block as the convolution, say C11, okay, C12, no, C21 and C22. Okay, this block if we consider as this, and S is formed by a downsampling operation. That means that it is multiplied with 1/4, 1/4 and all, right? So it is multiplied with 1/4, okay, 1/4, 1/4 and 1/4, right? And this is what is the forward operation. Okay, this is the forward operation. Now when we do the back propagation, you already have delta S. So you can write dou S by dou C11 is equal to, okay, 1/4 directly from here. This is the forward expression. Okay, from in backward operation, mathematically when you want to write, dou S by dou C11 is 1/4. Okay, and this is not like delta S equal to 1/4, like 4 times delta S equal to delta C11. It's not like this. Okay, please note that this is one of the term in the while writing back propagation. So if we write now in back propagation, already dou S by dou J, which is delta S. Okay, capital delta S. Please note that capital delta S means dou J by dou yes. Okay, and that gets multiplied with dou J by so dou C11. Okay, this is what is dou. What is this side now we should write? This side is dou C11 by, sorry, dou, what should we write this side?
Only dou C1.
Yeah, what should I write? Dou,
C11.
dou what?
Dou
Dou
J
J by dou C11. Okay, so if I want to get capital delta C11, it is nothing but small capital delta S into expression wise capital delta S into dou S by dou C11. Okay, and this is equal to delta S by 4. Okay, that's why this 1 by 4 comes here. So now there is no discrepancy, as you can see. Okay, both the computational graphs and the mathematical stuff, okay, gives the same, except that we should note that the back propagation is from J. Okay, and then dou C by dou C11 is only a term in back propagation. Okay, and it's not the final solution relating delta S and delta C. Okay, so hope this is also clear now. Okay, I assume it is clear. So in if it is not clear, please ask me. On the max pooling and back propagation in max pooling, downsampling and back propagation in downsampling. Okay, so if we introduce any other ways of pooling, then also we can find out the back propagation in the similar way. Okay, as you can see here, right? Either you can go by computational graphs, okay, which if you feel that those are easy to tackle, or you can go by the mathematical stuff. When you go by mathematical stuff, you should see that you should consider you have to come from here, because this is only one part of the whole computational graph. Okay, so I hope these are clear now. So now we assume that we have got delta C2. What we want is delta S1, assume that. From here to here we want. See, forward operation of C and S are related by convolution. Okay, so the reverse operation, as I said, is since forward is convolution. Okay, so you can see that S2 to C2 in forward is by convolution. Okay, and then the back propagation is by correlation. That we will try to establish now. Okay, assume that we establish it. Okay, we establish this. And then we will write anyway all back propagations. Okay, delta C2 all. So in fact, we can also write delta C1. Okay, considering the small deltas, we can also write capital deltas. Okay, delta S1, delta C2, all that assume that we are able to write. Given these things, now what is of our interest? What is of our interest? Assume that we have given the back propagation of the errors at each of the layers for the feature values or the output variables at those maps. Okay, at those layers. Given these, what is our interest? What is our interest?
Updating the kernels.
Updating
the kernels.
Yeah, the main interest for us is in the updating of the kernels. So now we want to see, okay, so what, given all this, given all deltas, okay, what is delta K? Okay, this is our interest. So how do we get delta K? So first of all, let us try to write now expression for delta WF, delta say WFC. Okay, we just want to write in the last layer delta WFC. So how do I write? Quick answer. How do I write delta WFC? Yeah, you people should know, right? You might have already no answers at all. Surprising. Yeah, Pratap, you want to answer? Pradeep? Pradeep or Pratap? Deepanshu? No, Pratyusha? You can tell any answer. If you don't know, you tell you don't know. When I ask particularly with a particular student, okay, you need to tell some answer. Hmm? Yeah, Major Pradeep, you can tell.
So not very sure. Sir.
Oh, you are not clear? You didn't remember? Okay, delta net we have here. Okay, and then if I want to update the weights, what did we discuss in the last previous classes? So you have the weight update if you want to do at any layer. The weight update at that layer is nothing but what? Multiplication of two things, that's all. What is the two things we have said?
Error at the, sir, error at the output and
That's all. Error at the output
and into input.
That's all. Okay. So you take the error at the output, okay, and multiply by the input. Okay. FC with transpose, taking the dimensions appropriately. That's all is what we discussed in the previous classes, right? Delta FC, if you want to weight update any weight matrix. Okay. So this is of 10 cross 1, for example, here. Okay. And then this is 1 cross. Okay. This is 1 cross 192. Weight matrix is also 10 cross 192. Okay, take the dimensions appropriately, and then this multiplied by this will give you the weight update. Okay, and we said this very important step. Okay, in updating the weights of even deep neural network. This is how you can do. First one, independently backpropagate errors. Okay, I have nowhere considered delta k here in writing these things. Okay, delta k doesn't come directly because I can't write it so easily. Okay, when I write, these things can be written very easily. Okay, small deltas I can write very easily because they just depend upon the next variable, and so on. If I want to write delta k here, it's a little involved one. It's not a straightforward one because delta k has, okay, too many things in it. Okay, k, j, everything is here. So even here we will have W's are a matrix. I want to update matrix means it's not easy. Fine. If I want to update a vector delta, it is easy in convolution neural networks or even feed-forward neural networks. A vector weight update is easy compared to a matrix weight update. Fine. So that's why we do all the vector weight updates in the forward direction in the back propagation. Then we take it to the kernel just by the operation of using the error here multiplied by the input here. That's all. So now we can see that kernel here also, when we want to say, when we perform convolution operation. Okay, as I said, this is kernel 1 and this is kernel 2. Okay, so kernel 1, okay, J map if I want to update, delta k if I want to get. Okay, so assume that I already have delta C1, J. Okay, assume that since we have seen in the previous discussion, assume that I have got all capital deltas as well. Okay, so then if I want to write delta kj, what I do, I need some operation between this one and what? What is the other parameter that is involved in writing this? What do you think is the other parameter that is involved in writing this? Delta k1. It is x. That's all. Okay, so we can see that flipped version of x. Okay, convolution with. So delta 1 ck. Convolution or correlation we'll just check. Okay, but it just essentially involves, okay, kernel update essentially involves the input, okay, and the kernel. The same thing that we have done earlier. Here also involves, this also involves only the same parameters. But the way they get involved, that we will cross verify how they are. Okay, that's only the thing that we will discuss now. Is this clear? Now, if you want to write actually here, okay, delta k2 comma j comma k, because k2 has both j and k, right? So then what are the things that are involved? What do you think are the things that are involved? Yeah, please tell quickly.
Delta C2,
K2K, okay, and then
version of S1.
That's all. Okay, this may be flipped. With how does this come in this way? We'll see later. But it essentially involves, okay, the input here, input of corresponding map, okay, and then the output of corresponding errors of output of corresponding map. Okay, for in the output errors we take, okay, in the input we take, and the operation of those two will give us the kernel. That's all. Okay, so same principle applies even here. Okay, now let us see with how exactly this is done in convolution neural networks. Okay, so especially in the convolution layer, how do we do it? That's what we will see now. Okay, so I am sharing the slides now. I will stop sharing from here and share the slides. Hope the discussion up to here is clear. If there are any questions, you should very quickly ask before I share. No, because I may not get the time at the end. We may not get the time at the end for discussion. Okay, so now we have seen the forward operations. Okay, as you have seen here. Fine. Now we are looking at the back propagation. See, as I discussed, at each layer, if we see, okay, only delta, this is whatever this is written here, okay, is nothing but O minus T is the error here. Okay, F dash here is written as, okay, F into 1 minus F. Okay. See the output here, if we consider as O, okay, sorry, here there is another block which is O. The output at the output layer considered as O, then O into 1 minus O will be F dash at that location, F dash of net value, right? So that's what is written here. And O minus T is what? The error, like dose A by dou O. Okay, that's what is written here. So delta FC, when you write, this is how it comes. Now delta S2, if you write, what happens? W into delta FC. So here they have written W, in fact, in our case, W transpose, okay, into delta FC. And then here delta C2 upsampled version of this delta F, and into there is if there is an activation function in the forward direction, okay, that OC2 into 1 minus OC2 will come into picture. Hope you are understanding what I am trying to tell here. See, delta S2 previously delta C2 we have seen as delta S2 upsample. Okay, but we, in addition to that, if we have an activation function that at the convolution, second convolution layer, OC into 1 minus OC2 also come into picture, because activation function is nothing but O of this will be equal to, okay, O of say output of this is nothing but F of, okay, the C2 value, or OC2 is equal to F of OC2, and that they are writing as F into 1 minus F is what is written here, right? And the deltas here, as I said, okay, so we will see now the convolution, in the convolution layer what will happen. See, in the convolution layer, as you can see, what is happening in forward direction. So hope you are able to see the slides, right? Hope you are able to see the slides.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So in the convolution operation, what is happening? We multiply the kernel putting at this location, at this location, at this location, and at this location. And you get the Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 in the forward propagation. Now in the back propagation, you have straight away errors here. So delta Y1, delta Y2, delta Y3, delta Y4 you have with you. Okay. Now what I need? Delta X1, delta X2, delta X3, delta X4, all deltas I need. Okay. Element wise if we see. Now in the forward propagation, try to see, put them in equations. Okay. So why we want to do that is delta X1, if you want to see, X1 depends upon, see, Y1 depends upon what all, where all, in which of the expressions, okay, X1 is involved, we want to see. And through signal flow graph, if we see, only those branches will contribute to the error. Fine, you got the point? See, in forward pass, if say if you write the Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 equations, see that X1 now is involved with weight of W9, okay, in the forward pass. Along with, it is connected to Y1 through W9, weight of W9. X1 is connected to Y2, okay, with a weight of how much? No, it's not connected at all. Okay, so the error in Y2 doesn't contribute to error in X1, right? X1 also is not there here. Thus, the error in Y2, Y3 also doesn't contribute anything for error in X1, right? Similarly, The error in Y4 also doesn't contribute because Y1, Y4 and X1 has no connection, right? So now if I want to write the back propagations, delta X1 if I want to write, okay, it is simply W9 into delta Y1. You got the point? Is this clear or not? For example, just to test you whether it is clear or not, I want to write delta X4. Okay, tell me, how should I write delta X4? Delta X4 is equal to what? I need answer from you people.
Delta
Yeah,
Y2.
Uday Kiran, you want to start? What is delta X4? You should quickly tell if it is not clear, not clear. Delta X4, if you want to write, what should I do? Yeah, you are there or not? So if some student doesn't speak out, okay, put them in wait room. Better not better to be in the class. Okay, so any other students? Chaitanya? What is delta X4 here? Okay, you people are there or not there?
Sir, W7 into delta Y2.
Huh?
W7
What?
into delta Y2.
Yeah, Deepanshu telling. Who is telling?
Prabhat sir.
Huh?
Prabhat sir.
Yeah, Pratap, tell. Prabhat, okay, tell.
Delta Y2 into W7.
Delta Y2 into W7. Why is it so? Because?
We have to flip the kernel and then.
Yeah, and see, connection wise, if you see, you have the error of, see, you need X4 error. It can't, like the error in X4 you need, but connection it has only to Y2. So in the backward propagation, error in Y2 only gets connected with the error for X4, contribute to error in X4 by the weight of W7. That's all. Okay, because signal flow graph, if you see, you imagine the signal flow graph now. Because the number of variables are many. Okay, you can also make a signal flow graph fully and then try to see this. Okay, so if those who are not clear, make the full signal flow graph where Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4 as the output variables, X1 to X16 as the input variables, W1 are the weights. Okay, make the signal flow graph and then try to see the delta Y1, delta Y2, delta Y3, delta Y4 you have with you. Okay, and from there try to calculate what is delta X1, delta X2, delta X up to delta X16. Okay, for those who can imagine or who can understand, who already understood, try to imagine and then give directly the errors. So now delta X10, I need the answer from Major Girish. Delta X10. Delta X10 is how much?
Sir, delta X10 is W3 into delta Y2.
By 2. Okay. Plus, is there anything?
Yes, sir. W5 into delta Y3.
Oh, delta X10 we need.
Yes, sir. It is also W5 into delta Y3.
Right, very good.
And W2 into delta Y1 plus
Right.
W.
There are three terms that are connected to X10. So what will happen while finding the error? Error from each of them with respect to weights gets added up. Okay, and then you will get delta X10. Correct? So it is equal to delta X10 is W3 into delta Y2 plus delta Y3 into W5 plus delta Y4 into W6. Correct? I hope this is clear. Now, what is delta X15? So I need Hari to answer.
Delta Y1, delta Y4 into W2.
X15, yeah.
Yeah. delta delta into W.
Delta y4 into W2. Okay, that's
Yes, sir.
plus
Yes, that's it.
is also there. Delta y3 into W1. Right. So Sneha, what?
Yes.
X8. Sneha. Delta X8. Oh, you people are not there? Fine. Any other student? Prasant? Okay. Deepanshu? Delta X8. Okay, I assume it is clear. Okay, delta X8 is equal to W4 into delta Y2. Okay, plus, oh, you need to see where all W8 is involved. W7 into delta Y4 plus, okay, X8 is not there anywhere. So I think that's all. That's the answer. Okay, here, that's all. That's the answer. Okay, so like that, we write the back propagation equations. Now, same principle is applied even for writing the kernel updates. See, you can see here, see if a kernel W1 to W9 is there, if we perform a convolution operation with a input, okay, and get wide, and these are the set of equations. Okay, in fact, these were all written by one of the students to work them out very well. Okay, now if I want to write delta W9, assume that just I want to write delta W9. How do I write? What are the set of where all W9 is involved, you need to see. Okay, and then those all errors will contribute writing delta W9. What is delta W9? As you can see here, delta W9 is equal to, okay, delta Y1 into X1 plus delta Y2 into X2, because delta Y's I have delta Y3 into X3 and so on up to delta Y9 into X13. Okay, similarly, now if I want to write delta W2, then I will use, okay, delta Y1 into X12 plus like that. So if you write this set of equations based on the relation, forward relation, okay, and this row, each of the weight, it is connected to what inputs, okay, from like what outputs from what inputs. That will help us to write the error, like in that W, if we make any change in the outputs, which are all outputs, through how much input weight they get influenced, okay, in the weight delta W of that. Okay, so that if you write, it will get a closed form expression something like this. As you can see, it's a convolution operation between the flipped version of the input, okay, and the delta W's. Okay, and what you get is delta W1, because W9 now is equal to delta W9. If you see, no, it is a flipped version, right? Delta W9 into X25. Oh, sorry. Delta W9, right? So X delta W delta Y1 into X1. You consider this this way here. Delta W9 is from here. Okay, so you need to put exactly at this location for cutting delta W9. So it is now delta W9 into X13. Okay, plus delta W8 into X12, plus and so on. Okay, you need to put exactly this one, flip and put at this location to write the delta W9, right? That's how the convolution operation is done, right? So if you want to write delta W1, you need to flip and put this, okay, delta Y kernel here, and hence delta W1 is equal to delta W9 into X25 plus and so on, which you can see here. Okay, like this. So this is how the kernel update equations will be written as a function of as the deltas at that rear end, okay, and their convolution with the flipped version of the input here. Okay, please note that flipped convolution is nothing but correlation. So that's what we are also doing. In like forward pass, it is convolution, and backward pass, it is correlation. Okay, that's what essentially. So hope these things are clear to you. So if you have any questions in the back propagation now, you can ask. This is the summary slide. giving the back propagation, assuming that even the activation functions are also there. Okay, to each of the layers. Fine. So, fine. In the next class, we'll discuss very briefly on this and move on to the next discussion on training of convolution neural networks. Thank you.
Sir, quick question.
Yeah.
Sir, in practice, generally correlation is done, right, rather than convolution. So, in forward pass, it's generally correlation, and backward pass, it is convolution. Is it like that?
Yeah, you can consider when forward pass flipped correlation, okay, and backward pass correlation. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, you can also consider correlation. If you do here, it is convolution, but flipped correlation in the forward pass and correlation in the backward pass.
Yes.
Fine.
So
Okay.
one thing about quiz and assignments.
Yeah, fine. So one thing to inform is we plan to have actually second quiz. So I think your class time is over now, but we are planning to have second quiz. It's a very short quiz, which will prepare you well for the exam as well, midterm exam. So I need from you a convenient time slot when we can conduct it. Let it be either on Friday, that's not a problem, any Friday evening or whatever, or Saturday evening. Based on convenient time for you. If you give 20 minutes, probably we will conduct that Moodle quiz. So I request the Sandeep to take lead and give me the update on this. If Sandeep is not clear, I request one of you to inform to him. Yeah. Thank you then.